justice and peace and equality. Now the world they will see.
Game Changers Media Network, Game Changers Magazine, Voices of the Village podcast, City of McDonough celebrating 200 years reflection forward. I'm here today with the Mayor Pro Tem, Councilman Ben Pruitt. How are you today, Mr. Ben?
I'm great, thank you. How are you doing?
Great, great, great. Who is Ben Pruitt and some of the things that you do in this great community of the City of McDonough?
Well, I've been on council for 8 years. Before that, I chaired the Planning Commission for 2 years.
Okay.
So I've been around City Hall for about 10 years, and really, when I got involved in city government, my main focus was really just to help. I wanted to help the community. I wanted to try to focus on policy over politics,
Okay.
and really make sure that that all of McDonough, every citizen in McDonough, had a voice here at City Hall.
Awesome, awesome. Now, you serve as Mayor Pro Tem. What does the Mayor Pro Tem do for those that might not understand in the city? Like, what does the Mayor Pro Tem do and what is your role?
Sure. So the Mayor Pro Tem is basically a vice mayor.
Okay.
The members of the council vote for one member to represent the council as the Mayor Pro Tem, and basically I serve in the function or the functions of the mayor when the mayor cannot be there.
Okay.
So sometimes I will chair meetings, sometimes I'll attend ribbon cuttings and other community events in her place.
Okay, okay. Now, did you grow up in the city of McDonough? Like, are you from McDonough? What's your background?
Yeah, I didn't grow up in McDonough.
Okay.
My wife is from here.
Okay.
And so she's from here, she grew up here, and that's how I ended up here, gosh, almost 20 years ago. I guess.
Almost 20 years ago. Okay, so you met a beautiful wife, drove you down here to the city of McDonough. What do you remember McDonough as 20 years ago?
Wow, McDonough 20 years ago. I remember that that's where this beautiful girl was from, and I chased her down there. So no, it was. I grew up in a small town.
Okay.
And so McDonough, especially back then, and still in some ways still,
Right.
is it's a small town
Okay.
in the middle of a big city. It feels like.
Wow.
And so, especially 20 years ago, there were a lot of aspects of it that kind of felt like home. Right. You can
Okay.
drive around and you see farms around, but then there's also all the conveniences of the city close by. So,
Okay, okay. And 20 years ago when you moved here, downtown development, what did that look like for you? And the way that the city was progressing, what did it look like, you know, during that
So
time?
one of the things I remember is the square closed down at 5 o'clock. I mean, it's like they rolled the sidewalks up at night, and so it's been really fun over the last 10 years trying to help make sure we had the right zoning and the right codes to help businesses thrive on the square, and it's been wonderful watching businesses on the square succeed.
So now it seems that community and small business is one of your passions here. And helping as a community servant, you're pouring into community and small businesses. What does that mean and what does that look like in helping this city continue to grow?
Well, I think it's really about the government making sure that we are making it easy for business to thrive, not only survive but thrive.
Okay.
And then staying out of the way and
Right.
let them do what they do.
Right.
I think that sometimes we can get a little too caught up in wanting to control every little aspect of what a business does. But at the end of the day, they're the experts, and
Right.
they know how to do it. They know how to run it, and it's up to us to support them.
Micromanaging somewhat. Now, the square doesn't shut down at 5 o'clock anymore.
Not anymore.
It's a hangout. It's a hangout. So with this being a hangout in the square, how do you see like the development of the businesses and the community being able to gather in the square, creating a live, work, play atmosphere here?
How do I see it?
Yes.
Well, a few of the things that we did, especially making sure that we had created an entertainment district.
Okay.
And some of the aspects that went along with that, making sure that we were as supportive as we could be with the businesses to continue to do business at night.
Okay.
You know, the entertainment district part of it was really big, and then a couple of the zoning ordinances that we changed to allow businesses to operate in a specific way that some of our outdated codes didn't allow.
Okay.
So that's what we've been working on.
Okay. So mainly it was a lot of outdated codes, a lot of old policies that were kind of like preventing the city from, I guess, birthing into what it blossomed into today, right?
That's right.
Now, South, I believe it's South Point over there, came about, new development, new businesses. What does corporate businesses bring to McDonough in the city of McDonough? And I think you guys we have a Dave & Buster's here as well.
That's right.
So how is that working in conjunction with the small businesses, helping this city to grow daily?
So South Point came along before I was on council.
Okay.
But the whole idea around South Point was a true mixed use hub.
Okay.
Where you could have places for people to live, work, and play, which is why you see a Dave & Buster's and apartments and subdivisions and parks and some really wonderful places to eat and shop.
Okay.
You know, it's been really great to see. There are a lot of businesses, especially restaurants, that open there, and they report that their sales are higher than any of the other restaurants in the nation in their chain. And so getting reports like that over the years has been really great. And I think it just shows that, I think it just supports that we're doing the right thing over there.
Right. Now, the city of McDonough is a family-friendly atmosphere. You know, I mean, families come here, we get in these nice homes, nice education system. Where do you see this city going reflecting forward?
Ooh, that's a tough one. That's a big question. That's a big question. You know, it's going to grow.
Okay.
And it's going to continue to grow. I think we've seen that. We've seen that I've seen that personally over the last 20 years, and I think everyone sees that McDonough is such a great place to be, and people want to come. They want to be here, and so we have to be so intentional about making sure that we are focusing on quality development. I think from the standpoint of the council, we would do everyone a disservice to walk in and say, okay, no more development. Let's stop. We want to keep things the way they are. Because if we were to try to do that, we would have development. We would still have development, but it just wouldn't work.
Okay.
And so we've got to make sure that we have a good vision for the city.
Okay.
That we understand how local zoning ordinances work along with state laws.
Okay.
And making sure that we are preparing for that growth. The Atlanta Regional Commission, I mean, their projections are that over the next 20 years, we're going to see a huge increase in population just because people want to be here.
Awesome. Now, one of the key things that the city of McDonough offers yearly is the annual Geranium Festival. How does that look to the people who have never been, who has not seen like this wonderful gathering of local community business owners and vendors and people from all around coming to the city of McDonough celebrating that grand day? Yeah,
it's surprising if you've never seen it before, just how many people come onto the city to the square here in the city. The city does not run that event. That's the Lions Club that sponsors that event.
Okay.
And they do a great job with it, and we're so grateful for the hard work that they put into. A few years ago, I went out and I was there all night long the night before because there's so much work. It literally, people are working through the entire night getting ready for it. So it's pretty spectacular. So if you're, whoever's watching this, if you haven't been, you need to come.
All right. Would you like to give the city of McDonough a 200-year celebration? Happy birthday shout out.
Yeah, absolutely. City of McDonough, ever since I've been here on council, I was just hoping that I would be around to celebrate your birthday. So happy 200.
Awesome. We want to thank Councilman Pruitt for taking the time out of your busy schedule to sit with us on Voices of the Village podcast. Reflection Forward, celebrating 200 years, City of the McDonough. You guys stay tuned. We got more coming up. Voices of the Village podcast, GCM Network, Game Changers Magazine. Thank you.
And equality.